How's it going, guys? Welcome to a brand new feature match this week. We have Tenyi versus Mermails, but I'm not playing Mermails. A friend of mine is actually playing Mermails. He's been playing Mermails at locals as of late, so I figured I'd have him on for a feature match so you can see his take, his style of Mermails. But yeah, got a brand new set of feature matches this week, so hopefully you guys are looking forward to them. Got a little bit of variety here, so hope you guys, like I said, are looking forward to, because like we already got like Tenyi on the feature, which I don't think has ever been on before. So Mermails, I think, going first here, and starting with Megalo, discarding Abyss Nere and Abyss Dine. Abyss Nere, for those that don't know, is like a sort of a hand trap for Mermail, basically allowing you to discard a target water monster, then you destroy, I think, another water monster you control. And that water monster you targeted gains attack equal to the water monster that you destroyed using that effect. So you can use it to sort of like as a hand trap in some situations, boost up one of your monsters to either get over something or push for more damage, whatever it may be. So he'll search out the Mizuchi, which of course is going to allow a spell negation upon resolution. And a okay card. I don't like Mizuchi. It's one of those cards that you kind of have to play. Not only does it give you the 800 attack boost, but it can turn off the first spell that is played, unless they are field or continuous, because Mizuchi just self-destructs and won't actually end up negating the field spell in any way, shape, or form. Mizuchi just kind of fizzles off the board since a spell was activated, and the field spell won't get negated. So having to remind his opponent that the field spell doesn't get negated and it doesn't get destroyed, because Mizuchi is a fantastic card. I mean, for me, it's a love-hate, but like you kind of have to play it, because if they have something like Instant Fusion or Mind Control in their hand, those cards can be, you know, turned off in a sense, having to be played around, you know, for the Mizuchi. So special summoning the Dark Tenyi, which is was a card that has been splashed in a lot of Orcus decks in the past. So obviously right here at home in its own deck, going to attempt to bounce the set card. Well, he controls only a normal monster, which is the Monk of the Tenyi. He's going to chain the Sphere, and this will actually trigger the effect of Lyn, because when Sphere leaves the field, it will destroy whatever it summoned, and thus procting Lyn's effect to, when destroyed, summon a Mermail monster from the deck. And that will also trigger the field spell, the Flawless Perfection of the Tenyi, so we'll get to draw 2 cards in result of that special summoning of the Lyn. Lyn not seeing too much play in Mermails as of late, but I always love the Sphere Lyn combo, coming in a little bit handy here to summon out the Mermail Abyss lead. Now you could summon out something like Pike to discard the infantry as in hand, but it really isn't going to be too impactful in this situation. You'd rather just put out a big body like that of lead, chilling at 2,700, I think, or maybe 29, but still nonetheless one of the bigger Mermail monsters in the archetype. Special summoning out another Tenyi again while he controls controls no effect monsters. Then going into the Shaman, which is going to discard to revive Mermail, which is a worm. So Mermail, interestingly enough, is not necessarily a brick card in this deck, since it can just be revived just like that off of the Shaman, and then using its effect 3 times, because you can use it 3 times a turn, to summon out 3 tokens, and those are all non-effect monsters. So playing into sort of the theme of Tenyis, you know, revolving the strategy around non-effect monsters and the graveyard effects, dealing with non-effect monsters and things like that. So we're going to see a link into the Draco Masters of the Tenyi, and he'll use his effect to destroy monsters. I think his opponent controls up to the number of non-effect monsters he has, so that is 3. So he technically could destroy up to 3, but going to destroy 2 here. Both Mermail and Megalo getting, or not Mermail, what am I even saying? Megalo and Lead getting wiped off the board here. Now completely left wide open for what could possibly be a potential OTK. We're going to see him link all 3 tokens here. First being for Linkuriboh, the second 2 tokens being for IP Masquerena. So that is going to allow for some plays. Going to link into, I think, the Link 3 Tenyi, which now cannot be destroyed by card effects, thanks to IP Masquerena. He's going to special summon, or I think maybe normal summon, since I don't think he has normal summon, the level 1 Tenyi. Then from here, I believe he's going to use one of the newer Tenyi's effects, the Tenyi Ashuna. Basically says, if you control a face-up non-effect monster, you can banish from the hand or graveyard to special summon a Tenyi monster from the deck. So he's going to special summon out that Vishuda, which is a level 7, so he'll be able to synchro the Vishuda and the Adara for the Draco Berserker of the Tenyi at 3k. So he has 3,000 attack monsters, which is enough for a game. So we're going to head into game 2 here. And as I do, of course, a quick shout out to our sponsor at Imperium Duelist, provider of some amazing sleeves, amazing 2-player cloth playmats, some dice, deck boxes, a great company for TCG accessories. And if you guys are interested in picking up any of their products, you can find a link to their website down in the description below. But not only that, can you find a 10% off discount code, WinterKills10 off, to help you guys save 10% off your entire order. So getting back to the game here, getting started with the Fire Tenyi, linking it off into Monk, special summoning the Shatana Water Tenyi while he controls no effect monsters. So Mapura into Shatana, and then into, I believe, the level 1, yeah, the Adara. Trying to learn all their names here on the fly. So going into a Link 4, right off the bat here. Be interesting to see what he decides to go into. Or Link 3, rather. So going for the Link 3 Berserker of the Tenyi. The 2-set back row. So not the most productive turn. It seems like the Tenyi deck is a bit better as a going second deck based on the results of what we saw last turn. Now the Mermail player did not open up that well. No access to Prince, Dragoons, or Teus. So, I mean, what can you expect from a hand like that? Mermail is very reliant on seeing cards like Dragoons and Teus and Prince. So if those cards are not seen, you can expect somewhat of a lackluster turn, which is unfortunate. But again, that's always been sort of Mermail's flaw, is the reliance on those cards. So opening Teus Dragoons here, though, in game 2, and man, oh man, must be nice. Teus Dragoons, a very good way to start here, especially if you're going second at this point. Fantastic way to start. He's going to add Diva and Gund. It does look like he has a copy of 1-for-1 in his hand as well, so his hand is looking pretty loaded, and looks like he may have a response here on the summon of the Deep Sea Diva, and is going to be the Unrivaled Fist of the Tenyi, which basically says when a spell, trap card, or monster effect is activated while you control a face-up non-effect monster, negate the activation. So it does not destroy, so the Diva will get to stick around, but it is going to force out the use of this 1-for-1 to get access to Prince. Discarding Abyss Mander here and getting Prince, so this is more Dragoons effects are going to be resolved here. It's going right back into the deck, gonna dump Dragoons, and then going to add an Atlantean, of course going to be the heavy infantry, and then adding any Sea Serpent from the deck now. Quite a few options. You have like potentially Mullen Glacia, you have Megalo, any other Atlanteans perhaps. You could also go for Lapis Dragon, which I believe he does end up going for Lapis Dragon here, just trying to get some Link fodder onto the board, because there really isn't too much of a threat about this field. I mean, you do have to worry about the Fire Tenyi and the Water Tenyi in the graveyard, because the Fire Tenyi says when your opponent activates a card or effect that targets a face-up non-effect monster you control, quick effect, you can banish this card from your hand or grave to negate the activation. So that could potentially stop an infantry on his Berserker. And then you also have to worry about the water one, which has to deal with monsters that are destroyed by battle. So that could also be a potential issue. So going right into Nightmare Phoenix with the infantry and the Lapis Dragon. So we'll get a co-linked draw there for the effect, but using the other effect of the Unrivaled Fists to summon a non-effect monster from the extra deck, and it's going to be the Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. I think this is definitely a first for the channel. I don't think we've ever seen a Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon summoned in a game, at least not that I remember. mean, hell, maybe it happened in Blue Eyes format back in 2016, but this is a definite first. So all threats potentially cleared at this point. Again, you still have to worry about those graveyard effects of Shitana and Mapura, because those could definitely cause some issues. Now summoning Megalo, discarding a Prince and a Gun, so going to revive 2 from the grave, going for Mander and Dragoon, so that's going to set up a rank 4 play, which is very nice. Has a Masquerena on board as well, so we could see a possible Avermax or Borosword play. And again, that Nightmare Phoenix cannot be destroyed by battle as well, so a little extra bonus to take into account with this field. And looks like he's going to go into rank 4, and there's the Dwellers you might expect, clearing the problems in the graveyard and also resolving a Dragoons. As a result, going for another copy of Infantry here. So right now, he has the Mizuchi and the Dweller, so that can boost the Megalo up to 3,400, which is enough to get over the Berserker, but not enough to get over Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. But it looks like he's going to go into an Avermax, which not only can it not be targeted at this point, but it cannot be destroyed by card effects, so that is going to get over the Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon 100%. So you have a 34 Megalo, a 22 Dweller, and he's just going to go right into the battle phase and attack over the Blue Eyes Ultimate for 3,000 thanks to Avermax's effect. Run over the Berserker for 400 and then swing in with 22 from the Dweller, dropping him down to 2,400 when all is said and done. So quite the opposite result here in game 2 as opposed to what we saw in game 1. Making a massive board and just running through everything. Not enough to OTK, but it might be just enough in this situation with Dweller and Mizuchi in play, and especially with Avermax on board and a Diva in hand to follow up. So we're going to head into game 3 here in a moment. And I want to mention, if you guys are buying anything on TCG Player, do not forget to use my affiliate link down in the description below. It helps support me and the channel a lot. Help me to create making more videos for you guys. So do feel free to check that out. And also, perhaps consider hitting the join button too if you want to support the channel even further. Would be greatly appreciated. So getting started with the Monk of the Tenyi, and then resolving, I believe, the cycle of the dragons. Vessel for the dragon cycle, which basically allows you to send a worm monster from your deck to the graveyard. Then if you control a face-up non-effect monster, you can add from your deck to your hand one Tenyi monster with a different name from the monster sent to the grave. So using it to dump Mermail to the grave. And then we're going to see the Link go into play here, the Shaman, discarding another Vessel. And I believe he's just going to revive another worm from the graveyard, and it's going to be the Mermail. Yeah, basically discard a card, then target a worm monster in your graveyard, special summon it. Also, this turn, you cannot activate the effects of monsters special summon for the extra deck, except Tenyi monsters. So, getting locked out from the extra deck, sort of. It's not going to be too big of a deal here because his extra deck monsters probably aren't going to be doing anything on his turn anyways. Not using them as a form of extension. I believe going to use the Mermail now. I believe already has possibly used the Mermail. And deciding on what to link off to. Last game we saw Link Kuriboh and we saw the Masquerena. I mean, I imagine we'll probably see the same thing happen here. But you're just trying to establish a board that is going to stop whatever plays are being made. We saw last game that did not work so well. He ended on the Berserker with 2 of the traps, which is nice because, I mean, he was able to stop the Diva, and he did get to proc the effect of the trap, allowing him to summon, Blue Eyes Ultimate. Not that that really makes too big of a difference. Basically summoning a token from the extra deck, if you will. But yeah, either way, going for Link Kuriboh, and then I imagine we're going to see the Masquerena follow up much like we saw in game 1. But like, what type of field do you put up here in the situation? I could see the possible Avermax play, but looks like he's going to normal summon the Mapura, and then link into the Berserker. And then, I mean, at this point, you could potentially leave the Masquerena for an interruption, like a Nightmare Unicorn play for his opponent's turn. So yeah, leaving those cards there, leaving the Mermail, and we're going to see Teus Dragoons again here in Game 3. I wish I had that type of luck when I played Mermail. Tejas Dragoons do not like to be in my hand together at the same time, which is very unfortunate. But again, still a very, very strong opening here. And our turn 1 board looking a bit better from our Tenyi player as opposed to last game. Again, I mean, maybe if you had some like hand traps paired with this, it could be pretty threatening. I believe we also like had another Tenyi player at our locals last night. I think we had like 2 Tenyi players, which is interesting. It's a deck that I've heard about. I know it exists, but never really seen the deck as a pure deck in action. So I gotta say, this is pretty interesting to see. Like I said, I mean, the only Tenyi experience I've had in the past is, you know, the typical Vishuda into Monk to bounce a card in decks like Orcust. Used to be a small engine that a lot of decks actually used to tech probably sometime last year, but have sort of fallen out of favor for the extra deck space and the potential brick of drawing the Vishuda late game. But adding the Gund and I believe one other card, not sure exactly what it was, obviously a Sea Serpent, might have been Prince. And then going for Pike here, discarding the Prince and opting not to normal summon the Prince here. But it is going to be fine because potentially going to be able to revive the Dragoons out of grave to make a Dweller, which is so huge in this matchup. Or could potentially have other rank 4 options, it depends. So he's going to add Abyss and Array off of the Pike. So this could be pretty helpful to beat over certain things. So going into Bahamut Shark now with the Dragoons and the Pike. That, of course, will allow him to get totally awesome from the extra deck for essentially free. And also put up, you know, the interruption and trigger a Dragoon's effect in the process, which is always nice. So going to add any Sea Serpent from the deck to the hand now. Could see a possible Megalo, another Infantry, and it is going to be Infantry. So at this point, you still have to worry about Masquerena. You still have to worry about the Link Karibo, the potential set back row as well, and also the graveyard effects too. So looks like he's going to link off the Bahamut and the Tejas into a copy of Nightmare Phoenix. This is going to attempt to clear that other back row. And again, even if it is the Unrivaled Fist, you don't really care too much anyways, because you're just getting a Blue Eyes Ultimate on the field, and that doesn't really make too big of an impact on your play. So discarding Moulin Glacia here, and going to hit the set back row. We're going to see Masquerena, I think, activate in response to attempt to quick link. And that is going to be negated, and he's going to discard the Nere, which is an Aqua. So that will negate the Masquerena. And then I believe Phoenix going to resolve here, destroying the set back row, which is a call by the grave. So he's going to actually chain that in response and banish the Abyss and Array. So the Masquerena is destroyed. Call by will resolve, and he will get a draw off the Nightmare Phoenix, which is nice. It's always nice to resolve some Nightmares mid-combo, especially if they are co-link. Getting those draws, always very, very nice to keep up the hand advantage, especially in a deck like Mermail. The Nightmare package is something I feel like is pretty valuable in a Mermail deck. It's just oftentimes finding the space for Cerberus, Phoenix, and Unicorn can be a bit difficult when there are so many great options to play, and so many ways you can play Mermail. And especially with the new changes coming in Master Rule 5 and the new support and Eternity Code, so many possible options. Hard to really decide on just one. So now resolving a Megalo, discarding Gund and Infantry. Infantry clearing the Mermail. And then summoning out Tejas off of the Gund and also searching that Mizuchi. Could be pretty pivotal here to possibly negate any top deck spells like Vessel of the Dragon Cycle. So long as it isn't, again, continuous spell or field spell, because Mizuchi really doesn't know what to do against those cards. So now at this point, you have the option for a potential Boral Sword. But with the Toad Negate already exhausted, Link Karibo will be a problem and potentially not allowing you to secure a game right now. So you do need to go into something that can clear that Link Karibo. And I think we do actually end up seeing another Nightmare play here. Yep, going for Nightmare Unicorn. And debating on whether or not to link off the Toad. But that co-linked draw is very enticing. You'll get a card back in the process anyway, so you might as well. So Nightmare 1 and Toad 2. Targeting the... Actually, not going for the Linkuriboh, I don't think. Targeting the Berserker of the Tenyi. And going to put back, you know, a card to his hand off the Toad and also draw. Does not have the Tenyi engrave. I believe that would prevent targeting. So adding back the Teus off the Toad and also, again, getting that additional draw from the Unicorn. And then summoning Teus by discarding an infantry, and infantry not being once per turn, is going to clear the Linkuriboh, so dealing with the entire field and drawing some cards in the process. And then swinging in with everything, that'll leave him with just 1,400 life points left. The Mizuchi boosting up the Teus by 800, putting it to 25. And not done with his turn there yet, just going to link all of those into Crusadia Avramax to be a pretty big roadblock at this point. Again, cannot be targeted and can only attack the Avramax. So that'll protect the Teus in a little bit of a way. That 2,500 Teus. And I don't really know that there is much that can be done at this point. I don't think there's too many cards in his graveyard that could be too useful to him currently. Especially when dealing with an Avramax. Top decking at this point with his last card in hand. Although not a super impressive end board for Mermails, but like in this simplified game state, it very much could be enough. And of course, with how much time is left in the video, most of you guys already probably know the outcome of this particular duel. Just reading the text of Avramax and realizing that there is not much that can be done. So, as expected here in Game 3, Mermail's taking the victory and taking the match 2-1 against Tenyi. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this live feature match. Thanks to the players for being on the feature match, as always. And if you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like and let me know what you think down in the comments section below. So, yeah, as always, guys, WinnerKill signing out. We'll see you guys in the next one.